very interesting game from Budapest Chess Olympics. So here we have Luca Junior Moroni against Luke McShane from England, and Luca is from Italy, of course. And this game was very interesting in my view. So let's see what happened. So black played Nimcho Indian, and white played this knight f3, which is not the most common, but it's playable, of course, and b6, e3, castles, of course bishop b7, and bishop d3 and castles, and now black can play, of course, d5 also, but he played c5, and here white's best move is supposed to be knight a4, what he played, with the idea of a3, of course, and black took, white took, and d5. No, actually there was rook e8, yes, and bishop comes to f8, and this is flexible, and I guess it's kind of equal position. b4 is supposed to be the best move, and then a5, b5, and d6. So white has space advantage, but black is, it's like a hedgehog position. Black is pretty solid, and I think black is probably quite okay here. So bishop e3 is fine. Of course, rook e1, bishop b2 are possible, and knight d7, of course, and now knight d2. Computer doesn't like this move because now there is d5, and of course you think about c5 here, but there is nice tactics here because black can take. If white takes, it looks like black is basically losing, but there is d4, very nice tactic, and now white should take it, of course, and now knight takes c5, and this is kind of funny because it works and black gets his piece back with advantage. So knight c5, bishop c5, and so on, and black is definitely a little bit better here, something like this. And this didn't happen, so Luke played e5, which is good. I think computer thinks white is better after d5, but I'm not sure. I think it's only because it sees white space advantage. It looks pretty solid for black also, g6 or something, and I guess black is fine also here, but probably it was better still. And d takes e5, and now black took, interestingly, with the rook. Actually it's better than taking with the pawn, which is, I think, more natural to most of players, but actually this is good. And now if for example bishop d4, black can play rook g5, and then let's say knight f3, then rook can continue his interesting journey to g4, and it is not trapped, I guess, and black is fine here. So now of course this is a threat, so it seems that black can play like this. What happened in the game was knight b3, not optimal. There was better moves like bishop d4 or something. Also rook e1, rook c1 are better moves, but knight b3 happened, and then black could have played d5 here, but g6 is also fine. And then white wasn't careful because black has an idea to sacrifice here, and white didn't prevent it. Rook e1 was better, and then okay, black is fine, but maybe not so much better, at least as in the game. So rook c1 was a careless move which allowed black to take on e3, which is a very nice exchange sacrifice, quite typical in such positions, I think. For example, in Benoni, sometimes black can take on e3, so black gets plenty of play for this exchange, dark squares and active pieces. Bishop h6 is good, of course, that was the idea. And then king h1 is best move, and knight e5. And you might think that why black didn't take here. It is simply, I guess, because it is slow and white gets development, and also this third rank, when it's opened, it might help white to defend the position. So this is pretty useless pawn, I think. So knight e5 is better, and it's really nice looking position for black, because all the minor pieces are very active and black can add pressure. It's very nice compensation. So anyway, white defends pretty well, so bishop e2 was the best move, and now knight e4 is the best move, because also here, if black takes this, maybe it's possible, but it's pretty unclear, because it gives white time to defend. So it's better to leave this pawn here. And black played the best move, clearly the best move, knight e4, active, and also knight is very active here, but also queen can come to h4 or g5, and the pressure is increasing here. And knight, white is in defense here, and he played a good move, bishop f3. There was like maybe knight d2, but then here black is better. It looks a little bit like the game continuation, where black had these nice bishops. So bishop f3 happened, and now it's time to take this e3 pawn, because rook cannot come to c3, and then white has to take on e4 probably, and bishop takes, and this is pretty nice view in very dynamic pieces, and these are not so useful. Anyway, it's still a fight, and white can defend, and he did defend pretty well here. So queen e2, and here Luke had a better move than bishop takes c1. He should have maybe played this, because this is such a strong bishop, and now there's ideas of playing like knight c4 perhaps, and perhaps taking here, or some okay, if it's black's move, probably something like this is going to happen. So for example, if rook c4, there's also knight takes c4, of course, and many unclear lines, but it seems like black is better here, like rook e8 maybe, and the pressure is increasing in every move, and white can maybe defend, but it's very difficult. So black took on c1, and now white is fine after this move. Now we get a position where black is pawn up, but white has very good compensation. So knight takes b6 is good, and now rook b8 must be played, because this was hanging, and knight d5, and so white is fine here, because white is fine, and knight is very nice on d5, and black doesn't have such a great attacking position anymore. And now actually black blunders here with rook c8, but it leads to very interesting complications, and to prove white's advantage, white has to play super accurately, which is not so easy in times of trouble. So I don't know if black saw this knight takes a5, or did he estimate the resulting position wrongly, or what happened. But anyway, this is a mistake according to computer, and black should have played something like king g7, and now it's a complicated position where white has compensation. For example, there's like queen f4, and white's threat is to take on a5, and if black takes, then there's nasty checks, on f6 and winning attack. So black should play something like h6. Actually, this is the only move, h6. At least best, clearly the best move, and then something like this, and then maybe a4 with complications, and it should be kind of equal. And black played rook c8, and after knight takes a5, white should be winning actually, but there is plenty of excitement still left. So queen takes a5. Black should take this knight. I think actually, yes, it is very clear that black didn't see this knight takes a5, because he thought like almost all his time here. Okay, but still there is very interesting idea for black, because this is trapped, and after queen c7, how to save it? There is no way to save it, but white still wins if he plays b6 here, and now this pawn is too strong. So queen takes c8, b7, and if we go to b8, then rook a1 wins, because this is coming here. So we should play queen c7, but then there's fantastic queen b1, and the idea is nice, because if knight moves, then there is this fork, and white wins this bishop. And again, if we play this, queen is very bad blockading piece, so white wins like this, and then also here rook a1, and it looks like white is winning here. Okay, still we have this rook a8. Let's see how it happens. So white can actually it's not so good to promote instantly for some reason. Let's see why. Because actually black has good compensation here for exchange. Yes, 2 pawns, yes, but if white checks first, then it's winning, because probably, yes, because here white has rook g8, and then white is probably winning. Okay, difficult lines, of course they are difficult, but it's very understandable that this didn't happen in the game. So rook a1 happened, and now after bishop c5, it's kind of equal. Again, white has b6, and compensation for material. What is this word? Defect or something, and it's equal somehow. But rook e8 happened, and now these guys are not doing much, and black has very nice minor pieces here and activity. So now it's equal. Black has enough compensation for this exchange, and now h3 happened. White has 7 minutes, black has 1 minute, and of course this half-minute increment. So it is very tense, and very soon also white will be in time trouble. So queen f6 is threatening mate, like in 3 moves, because after king h1 there's bishop g1, and then of course this is mate, and if king goes there, there's queen f2. So this is a threat. So queen e2 is forced, and now there's fantastic move which happened. So knight g4, and white cannot take it because it's mate. Same mechanism like this, and black is mating, and that's why white has to find the only move, which is knight e7, just in time. White has some counter threats here, and now black checked here, king h2 of course, and then black could have done could have repeated, so it would have been drawn, but black was trying to win, and there is grounds for this, because it is, as we see, it's possible for white to go wrong, and still it's draw even after best play by white. So g3 and queen c1, threatening mate here. And now white has to play either queen f3 or check first. Who knows which is better? Computer thinks it's slightly better to play this first. I don't know why. So I just let's see the game. It's too difficult to understand why this check was slightly worse. So it doesn't matter too much. It should be drawn in any case, I think. So now there's this check, but white doesn't take. Okay, white can take it, and white must take it, of course. And then it's a funny repetition like this, and it is draw. It's a funny draw here, and 93 is a better move because black is not risking anything, but still he can play for win. And now actually I'm not sure if this is true because here computer gives like h5 is winning, but it's not. When you put the move h5, then it gives equality again. So this is such a weak stockfish that it doesn't. Okay, it seems like it's a draw after something like rook g8 and then rook c8 with the idea of sacrificing here, and somehow white draws after this. Okay, so there wasn't win, and also queen c2 was fine. There is another moves also, but this was fine. And after 91, white has to check, and this here white actually made a losing move in time trouble. So he should have checked here, and after king h6, because after this white actually wins because there's a threat. White is threatening checkmate, so and this is check, so that's why black is losing, and black should go to h6, and then queen e4 is the only move, and after this it will be a draw. After check, king g2, there is a couple of ways of doing the drawing the game. So one goes like this, and it's perpetual like this, and there was also 91, which is also repetition. So here white blundered with queen e2, and after that Luke repeated the position once, and after the time control he found 95, which is winning because there is no checks for what. Okay, there's one check, rook g8, but after king h6 there's another check, but here black is winning, of course. So this didn't happen, and white resigned. So there's nothing to do against this mate threat on g1. I think this was okay. Let's see h4. Okay, it's mate in one. Sorry. Pretty fantastic fight in my view.